All right. Hey, we are back here at Middle Age Still Single, the podcast. We have a great segment for you today. Last couple segments we've talked about sometimes men are just afraid to ask for help. We're not really brought up with the mentality of we should go outside and try to find someone to help us. So we're trying to break that trend, and we have invited the official life coach slash skilled friend Middle Age Still Single podcast. Her name is Kristi. She's our first return guest. Welcome back, Kristi.
Thank you.
All right.
Great to be back.
Well, listen,
happy to see her again.
Yeah, we had such a good time with you, and we loved your energy, and we wanted to kind of give people an idea about what a life coach does. All right. Now, me and you have talked a little bit, not so much you and Nas, about some of the things we kind of want to work on, but let's talk about how do you want to start a session? How would you start a session?
Well, I mean, like any goal or anywhere you're trying to go, you kind of got to know what's your destination. Where are you headed? So because we're all very unique, everybody wants different things. And as I think I mentioned to you guys before, one thing that even for me in my journey was actually getting clear on what was it that I really wanted. I mean, I could probably tell you 5 things I want, but if we don't hone in on, let's pick one and do some work with it, you kind of just become stagnant and you just do nothing. And you become this person that just hasn't moved very far in life. And that's the kind of the uncomfortable treadmill. But that's where I want to ignite, what do you want? And let's get you that, because it's for the taking. And a lot of times all you need is some skills, a little bit of consistency in the direction of where you want to go. So all we need to do is get clear, some clarity. And that's where I come to you and say, okay, if I had the magic wand, what could I get you? What could I just magically bring into your life? What is it? What's the one thing you just would really love to have? It's just so easy once we have the direction.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that kind of gets me going.
Okay. All right.
Because one of the issues I did have, Kristi, before I got on, I didn't have a question, but I do think that your first sentence hit it was clarity on direction. So
So
absolutely, that's where I need it.
Nas, we're in your car, and I'm like, where are we headed, bud? Where do you want to go? If you don't have anything to put into that navigation system, there's no need to go anywhere. Let's save your gas, save your time. Let's save everything. And that's where now honesty and courage comes in, because sometimes, and I mean, hey, you guys, good for courage. You're doing this live, like not live, but we're going to post this, which means the vulnerability is there. And I think as just regular peeps, I'm a regular person. You guys are regular people. We're all just human trying to do the best we can. I think having the topic, having the discussion is the juice. Because I'll tell you, anyone watching this is going to resonate with any one thing you guys choose to talk about. So, okay. Awesome. Now, Rob, we kind of talked about a couple things we could discuss, self-confidence, self-image. Is anything coming to you guys right now that you want to throw out and be like, okay, I think this is something I would want? Because my job now is to help you get there.
I got you. Well, me personally, I want to get my my self-confidence back. I think as I've gotten a little older, and I've hit middle age a while ago, and things start to change, and I didn't really keep up with that change very well. So, I think like some people would say, I lost my mojo, I lost my swagger, my confidence, and I need to try to work on getting that back. And then I think with that comes a lot of other things. I think that's like the main thing. And once I get that back, then all these other things could open up for me again.
Okay. So, confidence is a funny little guy, because confidence is grown into, right? So if we have a little fear and we push forward and we do what we didn't think we do, we get a little confidence, right? We get a little move in our step. So I think that in moving forward to trying to get what it is you want, this will give you the confidence. Now, I will always say everything begins within. So we always start within. We don't start outside of myself. So yes, wouldn't it be great if I had all these guys want to date me? Well, maybe I'd feel really great about myself, but no, that's false. That's like external gratification. If I wake up and want to feel really good about me, regardless of who's knocking on my door, that's a me job. So now we have to talk about how do we gain self-confidence? And the first thing I'm going to say is, what thoughts are you telling yourself? You know, it's that, I think I talked about it before. If you're not your own best friend, you will not be a very good best friend. If you aren't your own caretaker, you will not be a caretaker for anyone else. So we put ourselves first in ways that, and for me, I know in my journey, that's where I started, was I had to start becoming a little bit more aware of what was I telling myself. 60,000 thoughts a day, guys. You know, 95% of them are subconscious. We're programmed. So this is all, you know, in the research and stuff. I don't want to get into a teachable. I just want to get into like, it's not your fault that sometimes we don't feel good, but it is now up to you to start paying attention. So for the next week or two, I'm going to ask you to start becoming aware. And one of the best exercises I ever did, and I don't really like exercises, but this one I thought would be good. So it was from Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, years ago. And it said, jot down on a piece of paper just some of the stuff that goes through your head. And, you know, I did do that exercise and I looked at the list. And I mean, when I look back, it was hard for me because I realized the person that loved me most, my mom, I thought, she actually hurt me the most. So it was some of those things she had said that burned into my psyche that I carried. So it was just a really good awareness exercise to be like, wow, I don't believe those things she said, but I replay them and they're there. And if I get a little insecure, it's that same phrase comes back and it goes, well, yeah, you know, your mom did say that. And it's a silly thing until we realize that, okay, wait, we're not back there anymore. I get to decide what I tell myself. But these are these wounds we carry. And when we're wounded, you know, we don't mean to, but we wound other people. And I think the biggest thing we can do is set our foundation as, you know, I love relationships, but man, if your own individual foundation isn't solid, I'm not saying perfect, but solid. You love who you are. You think somebody's going to, God, you're lucky to be here in my life. That's where I want you to be because that makes you unstoppable. So is there an area you feel like you're inadequate? Is there an area about, self-confidence? Is it in your career? I don't think so, Rob.
No, not career. I'm very confident in my career, and I think I'm a respiratory therapist, and I think I'm a highly skilled, highly competent respiratory therapist, and I teach as well, and I'm a very good teacher. It's just, you know, as life changes, you know, I've let some things go, and so it's physically, I don't feel like I should, really.
Okay, so great. So you honed in on, okay, it's your physical, right? And I usually like to ask people, you know, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 because we want to measure this, right? And if you want the result in 6 months, we're going to be like, hey, how do you feel now? That's measurable. Now you're like, oh, this is actually helping. So basically, so do you want to lose some weight?
Well, I've started for sure. So I've been vegan for the last 3.5 weeks. No meat, and I'm getting ready to go raw vegan for a little bit.
Okay. Wow. Well, just again, listen to your intuition.
Yeah.
If that's what it's telling you to do, do it. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. So listen to your body. If it's saying like, no, get the hamburger. It's okay to have the hamburger.
Yeah.
But we have to be really conscious of now, how are we going? It's really input output, right?
Yeah.
So do you have a system in place, a program? Are you going to go for walks every day? Are you going to go to the gym? Or what are you doing for your output?
That's what I need to do. I need to incorporate that a little more consistently.
Yeah.
I work a lot, and I use that as an excuse, as a crutch to not do all the physical stuff that I need to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Good for you for being honest with yourself, because if we don't see where we're failing, we won't really know how to change it. But you, Rob, I just want to make sure you really want it. And then I want to know, why do you really want it? Why do you want to be in better shape?
You know what? Because we have big plans. We want to take mass around the world, and so what, during our last trip, I'll tell a story here. We went parasailing, right? And I told all the guys, hey, I was really the only one that wanted to go. They were, the guys didn't really want to go. And so we went, and they got a chance, and I was too big to parasail.
Yeah.
And I had to watch them do it. I was happy that they got a chance to do it. But inside me, I was like, dude, I really let this go, that now it's starting to affect what I can do now. Like, we want to go around the world. Nas and I and Nemo and Mitch, we want to do tons of things, man. I don't want my physical shape to be a problem. We got a lot to accomplish, right?
Yeah. So now here you've got to get ready to be ready. You got to get ready to be ready for these trips, because nothing's going to hold you back, right?
You're right. Mm-hmm.
So it's really now getting consistent. And I'll tell you right now, I've witnessed many people that have been on the journey of weight and the struggle, and man, it can be a struggle. So I have compassion. And please be patient with yourself. Any change and growth we do takes time, because obviously we have a silly habit that's not working so good. So to relearn and make new decisions, new habits, that takes time. So but I'll tell you right now, consistency is your best reward. Every day. Listen to your body though. If there's days you're just like, nope, screw it. I'm not working out today. I'm not going for a walk. I'm not, whatever. Fine. Don't. But for the most part, I want you to start becoming addicted to just the joy of it. I don't go for my walks now to look good, but I'm pretty sure it helps. But my walks now are for my mind control, my learning, my growth, my connecting with friends. So again, go do the thing, but there's got to be a little bit more meaning, I think, in it to stay consistent. It can't just be to lose weight. That's why I want to know your why, because that's what you're going to be doing every time that you're like, maybe I'll just have this bag of chips and watch a show. You're like, well, is that going to get me to Thailand and doing paragliding, parachuting, horseback riding? I mean, all the things. No, it's not. So
all of it.
Yeah. And so what you don't, this is what I hear a lot of people. I didn't really feel like it. Like, seriously, do you think I feel like going to the gym? It's a meeting. It's like a meeting. You go. You don't question if you feel like going to work. If you don't, you get fired.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got to want it. That's why it's important to have to, your motivation is in the desire. It's the only way you're going to stay there. So is there anything you need from me to help you stay consistent? Do you want a daily check, a weekly check? This isn't about weight loss. I don't care about a number. I care about how you feel in your clothes, how you feel when you do something, that you can breathe easier. What do you think you would like to keep you in this place?
You know what? Just, hold me accountable. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a daily thing, but like whenever you think about it, hey, how's everything go? How's everything going? Are you moving? Are you moving that big butt of yours? Or,
yeah,
like that, something like that.
Yeah.
I think if my friends hold me accountable, and you know what, and like I said, the desire to be with the guys and to do this thing that we're trying to do, it requires me to do more physically.
Yeah. And I also suggest do what you love. Like, no matter what you're doing. Now, if it's in the arena of losing weight, well, still eat foods you love. Just make sure they're healthy. Listen to great music. If music motivates you, get some good stuff downloaded and crank it. Like, if you want to dance when nobody's watching, do that. That's cardio. Like, do fun stuff that'll keep you interested in it, Do you have a plan on what you're going to do? You're going to go kickboxing? You're going to go to a gym?
Actually, you know what? I have set up a gym in my house, like literally the best home gym you'll ever see in one of my garages. And you know, I walk through it all the time and to get to the other refrigerator. And so in my head, I know it's there. So I have to really start doing that kind of stuff again. I need to really, you're right. It has to be, let me tell you something. I'd never called in sick a day in my life. Never in, you know, my 50 something years of life, never called in sick. I need to do that. You're right. I need to do that. I need to treat that like work.
You do.
Yep.
You do. It's as simple as that. This stuff isn't hard.
No, you're right.
You just can't let your brain and your old patterns take over that. It's just a decision.
No,
you work out now.
Yeah.
This is just who you are. You're a great looking dude that has tons of energy. Again, these thoughts we tell ourselves, they're powerful, man.
Right.
Whether it's self-love or heading to the gym, you know, maybe that'll just be the topic for today is, what are you telling yourself? That you will either be inspired by it or put down by it. And we're so used to putting ourselves down, you know, it takes a long time to reprogram that. But once you get it, life just becomes so much easier because you just become that friend to yourself. And you're like, come on, dude, get off the couch. I'm here for you. I'm here for you because we're going to have some good times, but I need you, man. Like it's you and you know, and then you're going to go probably fall in love, and then you're going to go do whatever you want to do. It's you and you. Build that team. You know what's good for you. It's put in us. We know the good decisions and the bad ones. We know.
Right.
So stop pretending to not know what you know and get to it. You know, with people.
I'll get on him too.
Yes,
Kristi.
man.
I'll be on him too.
He
already knows. He already knows. I'll call him out on some things. So.
That's right. But could you please do it in a loving way? Like, let's not be mean to each other.
Okay, now that
he can get that from you.
A little too much now. Maybe if I get it from the guys, it probably ain't gonna be super loving. I'll know there's love there, but it ain't gonna come across that way.
Get that soft touch.
Fine. We can't be all things to all people. That's why we reach out and have different friends.
We're good.
Nas, can you tell me one thing you want?
Clarity.
On what?
So I've made a decision that I'm going to retire early and move to Thailand. And so what I need clarity on is kind of when, you know, like I'm trying to wait for a couple of things financially to come through, but that's not really the reason.
Okay.
So it's kind of like I guess I'm waiting for a sign or, you know, something like that. But I do know what the destination is. But I have this a block on me, right? And well, not even just that. I'll tell you. I'll be more specific. I still want to work, but there's like 5 things I can do, and I cannot narrow those things down. Me and Rob were talking today, and I kind of got to some clarity on it because of what we're trying to do with Mass, but it's just cluttering my brain to figure out what that next step is going to be when I finally do move, you know?
Okay. So one step at a time, right? You don't have to have all the answers. Have you, I don't want to sound crazy, but like, have you prayed? When you say you ask for a sign or waiting for a sign, have you asked for a sign? Do you believe, do you have any faith?
No.
Okay. So do you believe there's something bigger out there running this show than you?
I don't have any, possibly. I don't have a definitive no that there's not. I just don't have any evidence that there is.
Yeah. And hey,
but I do understand what you're asking me. Do I have a way of praying or meditating? I do that. Yeah.
Good. And I'm not here to tell you who to pray to or whatever, but
I understand.
Let's just say there was somebody out there trying to help you, but you haven't asked them, so they can't intervene. I'm just saying, maybe try it. Try it for you. You don't have to tell anyone, but in your quiet moments, ask and just say, "Hey, if you were in charge, what would you do for me? What should I do?" I mean, some people, Carolyn May says, pray like you're crazy, because who's to say there's not some? I know personally. I mean, there's stuff that it's beyond miracles almost daily. Silly things that I ask for that show up. Even just how to learn something, how to know something. And just something shows up. So first you ask. Then I'm just going to suggest that I think you do know what's holding you back. And usually we're just scared to admit it, or we have to now then do something about it once we admit it. You're smart, dude. You got tons of options. You know there's a block.
I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
I want you to get what you want. And hey, another good thing is journaling. Like, write it out.
Oh, you didn't just say that.
I have to, because sometimes that's how we gain clarity, because our brain's cluttery.
No, I'm saying that because that is something. Okay, so it's a weird thing that I do in the morning before I get up out of the bed, right? So I journal in my mind.
Yeah, good.
Like I start thinking about the day, how I'm feeling about that day and how I felt about the day before. Yeah. I do that in my mind before I get up.
Good.
In order for me to kind of get a handle on how I'm feeling. But I don't write it down. But it's weird that you're saying that, because I have like 2 journals over there that I bought 15 years ago. And I haven't used them yet. So it's kind of like, it's coming, maybe being, what do you call it, confirmed, that maybe that's something that I should actually consider actually getting started doing that, writing it down.
No, again, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to pull out what you get guidance for your life. But of course, I'm going to just tangent a little bit. When we talk about faith or belief in something bigger, pick your thing. This ain't religious. This is a soul journey that we're on. We have a soul, a spirit, and a human body, believe it or not. But what do you do with that? I think that's a lot of our separateness today, is because we don't believe in anything. Like, I'd feel really alone in the world if I didn't have what I think is out there to help me. But now we talk about how to get clarity, how to get there. Now you have these journals. Nas, try it. Maybe it's not for you. And you can be like, nah, tried it. Doesn't mean it may not work for you in a year from now. But what we need to do is do something, right? So at least when I talk to you in 2 weeks and I say, hey, bud, what'd you do about that? And if you say nothing, I'll be like, oh, so you don't really want to change. You just want to complain. What did you do? Yeah. What action did you take?
Right.
I don't care if you journal, call me, call a buddy, but do something that's going to get these 5 ideas down and rate them. You do this in the morning. This is brilliant. I call it reflection. How do we do better tomorrow if we haven't looked at our today? But let's not get stuck in how did we feel. Let's think about how we want to feel, because what we think about, we attract. They're proving that with science now. So again, great work. Keep doing that, because I think it centers you. I think that's a really, really healthy thing. Sometimes pen to paper, nobody's interrupting. You can just start writing. Maybe things come out of you that you're like, oh, dang, didn't realize that. Mm-hmm. And go through each 5. And if you rate them on how they make you feel, you'll get a pretty good indicator that maybe one just goes to the top. Maybe you start with 1. And then in that, you start gaining clarity. You'll know. And again, like everybody, Rob with his weight loss, you're getting ready to be ready. But in the meantime is the actions we take that are going to dictate where we go.
Awesome. All right. Magic.
You're a very skilled friend. A very skilled friend.
No shit.
Thanks. I didn't know where we were going today.
No. Listen,
It's fluid.
It is fluid. It's always fluid. It's kind of our inside joke.
That's our thing, right?
Yeah, like whenever we plan something, it never quite works out, but something better happens. It is fluid. No, listen,
Yeah.
I listen. If I were looking for somebody to help me as a life coach, after I watched you just talk to Nas and myself, that I would definitely try to get in touch with you. Like I didn't think anybody would be able to help Nas out. I mean, to be honest with you.
Oh, come on.
No shit.
Yeah. But
Nah, he's right.
But
Guys, I can only help people that want to help themselves.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If you want the result.
But I think you will, though, because I think that some people aren't as brave as Rob and I, right? Yeah. So they're going to see this, and even though they weren't able to come out and be vulnerable to the world, they're going to see through us. There's a guy just like me, there's a guy just like Rob out there dealing with the same issues. They're going to be able to draw from what you told us, which is fantastic, which is why this is so great to be able to do this.
Great. Well, and hey, as we go, now we build a relationship. We build trust within each other. So, at the beginning, especially your men, you're going to start with these kind of what I call outside issues. They're just a little bit of thing. But the fact that you open up and the fact that you can just talk it out and this is my thing. This is what's going on. You don't have to be having like multiple heart surgeries to reach out and have help, right? Like, this is all just everybody's trying to help each other.
Usually that's what it takes for me.
Man, really, it is.
Well, you guys didn't. You're just proving that maybe, just maybe, having a little bit of guidance on the side from a skilled friend will help you get the result faster. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Well, I think trusting you first. I mean, I think Rob trusted you, and we trust him.
Yeah,
and that is. Like, I just think that Mitch and Nemo, they're weak.
They're coming up, and
I'm just killing. I'm just messing with them.
They're coming up. We'll see.
But what I'm saying is, me and Rob are in different places.
Yeah.
Right. And we have things that we're insecure about, but we are solid on certain things. Right. Yeah. And we are both not worried about a lot of other things that some people might be worried about at this time. Right. Yeah. But when he said he trusted you, then I trusted you. So I think that's also helpful. So the guys that'll be watching don't have to trust you. We did for them.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And hey, it's a good point you make. We're all at different places, right? But we are all on this human journey. And we don't have to feel alone because we're all going to have heartbreak. We're all going to fall in love. We're all going to have trials and tribulations with our finances, our weight, our, family, death. None of us are sparred. And that when they say we're all in this together, like, you don't have to think our cells are all combined and all the science about it. You can if you want, but at the end of the day, it's just all we need is connection and sharing and vulnerability to say, man, I feel like this. So somebody else can be like, man, I felt like that. Yeah. It's not that the things we want aren't that different from each other, but our soul journey takes us along in different times, right? Just like I believe we can all have everything. I just don't know if we can have it all at once,
Yeah.
So
yeah. But thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, very, girl. I am in debt to you for you becoming a part of our podcast. We're trying to do something. We're really trying to have an impact. And you will definitely have a big impact when anybody watches. And for anybody watching, Kristi has her own channel. It is. I love the material. I love the content. It's short. It's to the point. It's very direct, and you can see what kind of energy she has. Just tell us like a little bit about your channel, Kristi, and how we can get there.
Well, I can tell you that I haven't been as consistent as I probably should be because
we need to talk about that. That's what we need to talk about.
Yeah, but I don't really have a goal right now to be all about YouTube and be like. Mm-hmm. I kind of other goals that I'm focused on. So the last little bit's been family and travel and having fun. Fun usually comes first because I can. But my channel, I typically I'm learning all day long every day because that's what I love to do. That's my passion. And so I try to learn and then throw a clip out there, or if, something dawns on me and I'll like get up in the night and write about it to be like, oh, maybe I should share that with them. So it's really just about sharing. And the reason is because, as I've said, I do believe that what we are asking of men today, society is changing. And so I think it's important that we all realize changes are coming, but we all have to be patient too. Just like I said, all patterns take time. So I think as a woman, I want to get great men. The men are already great, I believe. It's just, we do want a little more connection. We do want a little more intimacy. I believe, because I've experienced it, I know how much better it is than one night stands. I know the difference between an honest, integral relationship and one that is like kind of mediocre. You kind of like them, but probably not. I know the difference, and I want the best for everybody. And if, like anything, if you're willing to put in the work, you will get the best. That's just how it works. And I think that my place to help these men rise up and start, really, you guys, it's about healing some of our hurts. This whole like not feeling good enough thing. We can say we were over it, but if you're ever triggered, you're not over it. And we're all triggered. So, we don't forget our trauma or our wounds, but we relive them. We can be like, oh, it's not there because it's not happening anymore, but they're in us. And it sounds scary, but it's not. We just have to be open and stop controlling our people to think that if you change, then I feel better. No, that's why everything begins within. It begins with you. Heal your own shit. Heal your own life. Love yourself. Love your life. And then the people, they just come naturally, and it's not hard, but it does take work. Does take work. That's what I'm trying to do.
Miss Kristi, thank you so very much. Listen, next week or the week after that, you're going to tackle Nemo and Mitch, right?
I can't wait. You guys tell me.
All right. I'll get in touch with you this week, and I'll set a schedule for you.
Great. Love it.
Thank you once again, Kristi. Love having you.
Thank you so much for being here with me. And
Thank you. No problem. Okay.